Confidence is such an important quality of strong character. It's really a form of optimism, a certainty that things are going to turn out the way you want, and that you have the power to make that happen. Confidence is also one of the most elusive and misunderstood qualities of a strong character. How do we recognize a confident individual? Is it someone who dresses well, has a firm handshake, a shoe shine, and an intense smile? Perhaps, but more than any other quality, I think confidence is found to a greater degree in what we give to others than in what we have within or about ourselves. The root of the word confidence is the word confide. Confide is a compound word derived from the Latin language meaning with and trust or faith. When someone is sincere in a business deal, when an offer is made and real money stands behind it, when someone makes a promise and means to keep it, we call the thing a bona fide offer, a good faith offer. Music played on a top-of-the-line audio system is said to be high fidelity, meaning faithful to the sounds made by the live performer and instrument at the time and place of the recording. At Christmas time, one of the carols many children sing is the old Adeste Fideles, Come All Ye Faithful, to instill the confidence and good faith of the season. Confidence has to do with inspiring trust, which you can only do by having faith in other people. Confidence enables you to walk into a room full of strangers and converse with anyone without fear. Confidence imparts poise and bearing. It makes the strangers in that room think, here is someone I not only can talk to, here's someone I want to talk to. An ill-at-ease person makes everyone around him ill at ease. Feeling right makes others feel right, and they in turn give back what's inside them, the very confidence that you give out. It's like sounding an A for an orchestra. Every instrument with an A string answers in sympathetic vibration. Confidence is the right note, and other people's confidence is the sympathetic vibration. It's confidence that makes people want to believe what you say to them, want to accept you as you present yourself. But confidence is more than something that passes between two individuals on their way through the day or through their lives. Confidence is the entire basis of social order. It's the foundation of our monetary system. Think about it. The dollar bill says, "In God we trust." We have confidence that the government stands behind the value of the dollar. We are confident that the infrastructure and manufacturing capabilities and market drive of consumers will be there tomorrow as it is today. And we are confident that all things are growing, not fading. And so we buy and sell stocks, trade futures, invest in industry. Consumer confidence gives those goods that confident truckers have driven to market a place to go. Get them to the shelves and people will buy, no matter what. That's the spirit of global enterprise. And it's not based on gold. It's not based on material possessions. It's based on trust and confidence. Without confidence in the good faith of other peoples, trading partners, bankers, the earnest intention of buyers, and the good faith and credit of merchandisers, the whole system of world economy, along with all the governments of the world, would collapse. What would be left? Nothing except the early barbarism of rule by brute strength and physical intimidation. So confidence is not some little thing. It's a powerful force that can grow in power and flourish if given the right environment. A truly confident person's belief in himself is strong enough so that he's able to believe in others. Conversely, distrust in yourself breeds distrust in everyone you meet. A confident person gives you confidence. She creates confidence in others. The strength of her character makes you a stronger character. The question for us here is, how do you and I develop confidence? How do I learn to believe in myself so that others will believe in me too? George Washington was the commander of the American Army during our War of Independence from Great Britain. Why did the Continental Congress ask Washington to lead the troops? And how could he, a landowner and surveyor, and formerly loyal subject to King George of England, find the strength and confidence to ask his fellow colonists to lay down their lives fighting seasoned troops in the greatest army of the richest, most powerful nation in the world? Although Washington was a British subject, his roots were in America. The world he knew and loved, the land which gave him his life, was here, not in England. As a youth, Washington had traveled with the British Army, surveying unmapped territories in the New World, while England fought the French and Indian War. So Washington had first-hand knowledge of both the terrain where he had to fight and of the enemy he would oppose. And because he traveled with the army as a surveyor instead of as an officer, George Washington knew the temper and stuff of the men he would actually have to fight, and understood that with fortitude, patience, and confidence in the justness of the colonial cause, his little army could and would prevail. Largely through his ability to impart his own inner confidence to the men fighting under him, George Washington of Virginia was able to not only win the war against the Redcoats, but also to be called Father of his country. And no amount of historical debunking from his time to now has managed to tarnish the image he has left us. George Washington still inspires confidence, and his face is found on that one piece of paper that has the respect of the entire world, the American dollar bill. And here it's clearly a case of the face inspiring the confidence, rather than the number on the bill giving value to the face. All right, you say, all this history makes a fine story. I'm convinced. I want in. But I don't have the strength of George Washington, the faith of Brigham Young, the imagination of Pablo Picasso. Heck, I don't even have a law degree or good connections in the county highway department. How can I achieve this level of belief in myself? I think I can give some very specific answers to your question. Because if you've heard me this far and want to know more, it means I've earned your confidence. And remember, you can't inspire confidence or feel confident in yourself if you can't feel confidence in others. So in a real sense, the first important step has already been taken, and you're already on your way to a new world of confidence. If only we venture just a little further down this path we are standing on, looking ahead together. There are 3 areas which we have to talk about before you're ready to add confidence to the other building blocks of your unshakable character. Those 3 are, first, developing the quality of inspiring confidence by uncovering your own confidence in who you are and how you were raised. Second, seeing how you can derive confidence from that formal education and training you've received and the characteristics of your teachers and mentors. And third, drawing confidence from the challenges and experiences you've had in all areas of your life and the success you've had in dealing with them. Let's look at each one of these areas one by one. First, to grow up at all means that you have certain kinds of vital equipment that are necessary to survive in this tough, technical, highly developed world of ours. Your parents taught you basic skills, how to walk, how to eat, and later feed yourself, and what to eat, and perhaps good manners. You were given a certain amount of physical strength and mental endowments. Maybe you aren't a rocket scientist, but maybe you know how to fix a lawnmower, something many rocket scientists cannot do. Maybe you don't have a degree in accounting, but you can tell a joke so well that a whole room will roar with laughter. What are your strong points? They have to be there or you wouldn't have made it this far. Maybe you can save money. Maybe you know how to find things like somebody's lost contact lenses. Chances are you not only have a personal strength, a gift or talent or real ability, that should be a source of pride and give you real confidence, but it's something you take so for granted that you don't realize what it's worth. We're not talking about what's difficult for you, but about what comes easy. Just because it's easy for you to cut through with a cross-cut saw doesn't mean that it's easy for everybody. Your talent and skill is what you take for granted and maybe don't value enough. Talent isn't hard work. It's what's a snap. Second, if you grew up in this country, you attended school and more than likely have a high school education. Here's another case of almost everybody's got it, and I've got it, so why should I take confidence in my diploma? First of all, not everybody's got that diploma. And second of all, this is one of the few countries in the world where almost everyone can read and write and do math. So we take for granted something that in the backwoods of nowhere would probably qualify you to be president or the king or the big boss. So, boss, don't sell that sheepskin short because you do have it. You wouldn't think of it as nothing if you didn't have one. Also, your teachers, your mentors, who showed you the ropes at the first job or at the new place, they saw something in you that you maybe didn't see yourself. Want to know what that something is exactly? Well, if you can pinpoint what they gave you, what they showed you, you will see yourself through the eyes of that other person, that teacher or mentor or newfound friend. Because what they give you is what they see in you already, invisible to yourself. If they didn't see that you were capable of running that machine, taking that order, landing that account, making that sale just as they were capable, then they wouldn't bother to teach you in the first place. They had confidence in abilities that you may not have known you had. And they shared that confidence with you because you already had the skill. You only needed the sharing. Third and lastly, and even more important than where you were born and who your parents are, and whether or not you went to any school or the right school, and whether or not anyone stood by you or showed you the ropes, you have lived, and you are here. So you have the richest bank to draw upon that there is. You have experience. You may have traveled around the world. You may have known many people and learned the ways of other lands and other languages. Or you may have experienced life in the same place among people you've known all your life and known them in a way that no one on the move, forever dealing with new faces and new friends, can ever know another person. That's your bankroll. That's where you can learn and draw from with confidence. Because the thing about experience is, it really works. If it didn't, you wouldn't be here. You'd be dead and not caring. And I'm sure that you have some confidence in life because here you are listening to me talk and maybe even getting that sympathetic vibration, which is the confident tone that sounds in all of us. The confident man or woman is someone we all admire, someone we all want to emulate, and rightly so. The confidence man, on the other hand, is something quite different. A colleague of mine had been approached by a stranger with a highly attractive, apparently very lucrative business proposition while on a business lunch in the Wall Street area. This out-of-the-blue proposal had all the marks of bona fide. Letterhead, seed capital, articles of incorporation, a board of advisors. In the years before he became someone my friend did business with, the man making the proposition had been active in the government operations overseas in some capacity that none of his current associates could actually explain. This former public servant intimated that the opportunity involved buying shares in a corporation set up to import and export fresh fruits and vegetables from Central and South America outside the North American growing season. Apples in April, plums in December, lettuce in February. However, under the cover of these fruits and vegetables, they would actually be selling weapons to both sides of a civil war in a medium-sized Latin American quasi-democracy, which was and is against the law and would be hard to account for if you had a chance to win big. My friend slipped away from his lunch table and placed one phone call to a man who would know. Sure enough, this very individual had been accepting investments from wealthy individuals all over the country, without ever showing his books. Furthermore, so the plan ran, investors would be invited to inspect the foreign warehouses where their goods were stored, and then held for sizable ransom from their families, friends, and business associates. Can you imagine what kind of person would attempt to play such a trick on someone who knows his way around? So much for one of the few real confidence men that still operate out of a restaurant. You've got to learn to crawl before you can walk, and walk before you can run. Nobody grows to be an adult in this day and age without the leap of faith, the act of confidence which says, I have the equipment to walk among people. I have the goodwill and the sharp eye to do well and to do more than just survive. And I assure you that when you sense confidence in others, you are sensing your own strength.